for Minecraft in Theme Week 2019. We're here for day 4 of Day of Upload Week, and we've done this week looking at some K-pop albums that I bought in 2019. We have played GTA and F1 2019. So today, we are here in Minecraft, and tomorrow we will be playing Overwatch, so you guys can check that out. We're doing a special Overwatch video for Lamim for his birthday, so I hope you guys will check that out. So, I'm going to take a look here and show you guys our map that Lamim and I built and played on for the past couple weeks. And ultimately, we did beat the Ender Dragon yesterday. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So I want to show you guys sort of the map that we've used the past couple of weeks, and going to give you guys a rundown of everything that's going on this map. And I may also take you guys to the mushroom biome, where our second little house area is at. Check that out. So, basically all we got left now is to do a battle against the Wither. I gotta get some Wither skeletons, and we have to bring some mushrooms here from the mushroom biome. But besides that, everything's basically done here in this map. So, this is my house that I built in this area that I picked, which is pretty cool. It's a really dank area that I picked over here. It's pretty small. Basically, the flat area that existed over here started from this tree over to about here, and then it did go back to about that wall back there. But it wasn't that big of an area, so I sort of pushed the land out that way and pushed the land out this way to really build what we wanted in this area. So first, before we do that though, I want to go to sleep. Then I want to show you guys sort of where we start. Not the official spawn point, which we may come across later, but this is actually a map that, if people remember back to Return to Summer, I had discussed doing a solo survival map. This is actually the one that I loaded into, but we decided to do this map together when we were going to do another survival series. So, first, before we jump into all this, we're going to go over here. And I'll explain what all this stuff is over here. And if you guys watched the video a couple days ago where we were talking about building a village and worked on that for a couple hours, you will, you'll see some of this stuff. So, the first thing that happened, this bridge will go over in a minute as well, was we spawned in, decided to go mining, try to get a bunch of materials, which made sense. Then when we left the mine, we're like, alright, where do we want to live? Because the initial place we considered we really didn't like. So, we came down over that hill. And I noticed the tower over there. So we may actually have came over a hill a little bit further over. But, basically that radar tower over there was what we noticed, what I noticed at least at first. I don't know who noticed it. It might have been Lamim, and I told him about the radar tower. Because the radar stuff like that hasn't really been in Minecraft on PlayStation for that long. So this is the first survival we've done that has had it, because we played our initial survival, we started in February, and that wasn't out. And it didn't come out on PlayStation until a couple months ago. So, we came up over the hill and noticed that tower, which Lamim burned down after attacking it. And it was pretty cool. I was very excited to sort of see that, because whenever there's a radar tower, you know there's a village nearby. And I noticed over here, there was a village. So we went to it, and we wanted to see what they had. And of course, I wanted to tame the cats, because I like cats. I have 3 cats, for real life. Sol, Fiesta, and Bodhi. So I wanted to have a bunch of cats in this. Because I never had cats in the survival series that Lenore and I did before. Or survival map, I didn't get one. we only really came across one village. In my other solo survival, we did find, I think I actually found 2 or 3. I know we got a tuxedo cat and a different one. Either way, so this is the village that we found. And we had an inventory full of stuff. And we dropped it in here. We put some chests in here, dropped everything in here, and we made another trip back. Because in the cave, we had like 4 chests with stuff in it. So we came back here, and that's where we threw everything. And it was pretty cool. Eventually, Lamine decided he wanted to, obviously move somewhere else. We don't want to live in this village. So he decided to go over this way. Now, I was still looking for fish to tame a cat at the time. So, I didn't even know where I wanted to go. But he moved over to here, which we will go to in a minute. I don't really want to show too much of it. Back there behind that mushroom, there's a hill, which he built a house inside of. And he built the hill. He built the hill and then the house around that. So, that was that. I was over that way. And I found another village, which I'll go to in a couple minutes. But then, we came over here, and this is where I decided I'm going to build a house in this big, flat area over here. Not super big, but a flat area. Chopped down some of the trees, made it look really nice. I shouldn't there were any trees, never mind. All these trees I did plant myself as well. I wanted the area to look better. It was just like a big open field, so. Oh, there's a million holes everywhere from creepers. They've made an absolute mess of this area, so that's pretty cool. But first, let's take a look at my area. So you notice there's a stone wall around here. Pretty good because the enemies can't jump over it. So, and the enemies will jump onto this side because there's lanterns here, but you can yourself. So this really keeps out all the enemies. And I have my place super lit. Just to keep the enemies away. The closest I've seen an enemy is come to here, but for the most part they spawn like up here, hidden in the trees, or over there in the trees. Most of the time they don't come around the area. I did have one enemy spawn over by the nether portal, and I put some torches there, and there's been no enemy since. So first thing you do, you come in. We got a bell here. We got some places for sugarcane. We were working on books to enchant. So we got a lot of sugarcane, which leads all the way around the stable. This little fence is here to put turtles, but they up and yeeted, so that's pretty cool. In here are, this is our stable. It initially only went to here, and I didn't have the 7 fences. It was a little different, but the horses started to get out, so I changed it up. And yeah, so one of the diamond horse armor is Anime Titties. Anime Titties was the first horse that I found over by the village. This in here was a baby horse, which I didn't name, and I found it just on the side of this wall just chilling. So I'm like, I'll keep you once you grew up. I tamed it. And then this here's a donkey that I found because I wanted to have a donkey, so I have a donkey. I never used any of these to do anything, but either way, still cool. Here we have nether wart because of course you get it in the nether, and I figured it'd be cool to put some here. And of course, our front door, we got a bunch of flowers. The ones I found around here, I found a flower biome somewhere along the way to kind of jungle. Over here, we have some sweet berries, which are super toxic normally, but here they're kind of cool. I did move them from being on the side of the house. So we just send the flowers over to here, and flowers over to here. We also have, of course, chickens in here, and the carpets that jump up in because they're better than gates. Then we have some pigs in here. Initially I have pigs, cows, and sheep all together over here, because this is where the house stopped, and this here is like a big farm area. And then extended out to that wall. Well, the wall was a little different shape, but yeah, they were over here. So I moved them this way to make, once I opened this wall up and pushed it out further, I moved the sheep over here. And then when I started to have to do stuff with cows to get leather and breed a bunch of them, I separated the sheep and cows. And the cows are in here. There's only 4, but we had this whole thing was full of cows when I was trying to get leather again to make books, make bookshelves, and then do enchanting off of that. Put another portal here. It didn't used to be here. It used to be over by Lemmy's house that I showed you guys a little bit where it was, but it's here now. Mushroom from the mushroom biome. I made a Silk Touch pickaxe and was able to get semi-cillian. A bunch of orange sheep is orange favorite color. I want my whole house to have orange in it, which you see it does. Bamboo, I went to a jungle biome. I had to go all the way across the map to find it. Literally in that direction to the edge of the map. And I found bamboo. We got a bunch planted here, which we can use, of course, to make sticks and stuff like that. And here's our farm. Mostly potatoes, because that's the only thing that I really eat in the game. My character doesn't eat meat. So, you know, all those animals over there aren't to eat. They're just there to have. So my character only eats basically potatoes. And then we got some wheat here to feed the animals when we want them to breed. So we got wheat there. Down over here, this is the last thing we got to do before we go inside the house. I dug out a little cave entrance. Which is actually pretty far down. I took the map with me when I went down just to see the coordinates of how far I was going. Now this is where the actual exit is of our cave, but all the way down here we're keeping some lava. So if we need lava for something, we have it down here. Great place just to keep it. I'm sure if we wanted, we could like build a pathway and dig out further that way. But we're sort of past the point of mining anyways, so again, all we really gotta do is beat the wither done with this map. Oh, I gotta see if Lamine gave me my bow back. I don't know if he did. I gave him a bow to use to beat the Ender Dragon flame mine. Because I was out of arrows, and I figured he's better at shooting arrows than I am. This is like the big cave ravine area that I found, which is kind of weird to have like right underneath my house. But yeah. So I don't even think Lemine's seen this area, honestly. I don't think that dude's gone here. But that's that. So pretty fun. So we'll jump out of the cave. And yeah, I really like this this area. I think it's cool just to have a little cave there. Porch here, and you do have a jungle tree, I should mention that as well. So you go into our house, and this here was all it was when I first built it. Just this first level, right here, nothing else. Not even that part, there's a wall there. This is it. Bed was here, a couple chests. Of course, as you expand, get more items, you need more room. So we have our furnaces over here, of course. This is just where I keep rocks and stuff like that. We have a smoker here. And then we got this chest where it's just random items, basically. That's all this is. Of course, we got our anvil, crafting table, and a cake. And then here is where we keep food. This is where we have wool, basically. Wool, and I do keep glass in there when I have it. This here is a chest where we keep dirt. It used to be like 2 rows of dirt, but a lot of stuff's been built since then. And then this here is where we keep flowers. Now we have chest here, diamond, and iron. Yeah. There's a reason why I don't record my window open. We have a neighbor who's kind of wild. He goes outside and yells all the time. I don't know if you heard that in the background, but yeah. So let's talk about the cats here. We have Busan, which is a black cat. Of course I like black cats. I have black cats. My favorite cat that I ever had, Jewel, was a black cat. And then Fiesta, she's also a black cat. And then Soul's black and white, but I've always had black cats, always like them. And I named it Busan because Soul is into Busan. Just because I felt like, oh, Getting tuxedo cats have been really hard in this game, so we'll get to that. Oh, this is Park. It's a white cat. It's kind of interesting. I like the name Park for cats, and I wanted to name Bodhi that, but my parents didn't like the name. But yeah, so it's kind of cool. There's a white cat named Park. Then this is the black and white cat, which is Tuxedo. Soul isn't a tuxedo cat, but she's black and white. So yeah. There we go. Thought I had to sneeze for a while. Apologies for the pause there. So this thing here is Incheon. Of course, we have Busan and Incheon. Because Seoul is my cat. And she's, of course, named after a city in Korea. So I figured, you know, second biggest city is Busan. Why not name a cat that? I always do. And then, of course, Incheon is, like, basically connected to Seoul. That's where the international airport for South Korea is. So it's basically just, like, part of Seoul. So I figured, you know, we could name it Incheon. And our last cat over here is Victoria. I just thought it was a cool name for a cat. Our dog is Max. And Max is, I think, a good name in general. Also the name of my favorite Formula 1 driver, Max Verstappen. So I figured, you know, we could name the dog Max. So, over here, like I said, the armors. I just want to have these suits if I need to grab them, I can, but typically keep them here for display. And also they have a matching sword and they both have shields. Upstairs, we'll go this way first. This is the second part when I made the expansion of the house. We went upwards. And then eventually we went out that way and I made a hallway that led down to these two areas. So, that's how it worked. But up here is where I sort of put more stuff once I really had to expand and make more room. This here's got wood. This here has tools, as does this. Oh, that bow's gone on breaking, so I have to give him that one back. This here where I keep all the important things. We got a training book for efficiency, impaling silk touch. We also have more books to enchant later. This is where I keep all the kind of rare items. And then here's where I have the bottles with enchanted stuff. These came from Lamine. He does all the enchanting. I figured I'll let him mess with that. I do most of the farming. He does most of the enchanting. Or the potions. So of course this is where my bed is. And then down here is my enchanted room library. It does kind of bug me. It's not centered. But the house isn't centered. Or it is, but it's not meant to be that big. The way that this is lined up, it can't fit the whole way. So you just have an empty... Oh god. I have made that mistake today. So that is that. Oh, we also have our Ender chest, which has nothing in it, but it did when we were going to go fight the Ender dragon. There we go. Yeah, so that's that. And of course we have our porch outside, overlooking the whole area. It used to be a little bit more open before this tree was here. But, yeah, overall, it's pretty cool. Now, there is one more thing left to show. Nice thing about having that on there is we can jump off. So, the last thing to show... We also have a cactus down there. I didn't mention that. We just have a bunch of different trees around here. And the way this house is done, it's got oak wood, oak log, and then birch log on the side to, you know, offset it. We also have a rooftop garden. I think rooftop gardens are really cool when they do this in cities. And I really wanted to have one here in my map. And since this is technically the roof layer, this here is just for design. So you can change whatever's in the middle of it, as we have down there. And then up here we put some mycelium to grow a mushroom. And the last thing to show in here is a villager that I have. I want him to change his job to be a librarian, but for some reason he said, yeah, yeet, I'm still an armorer. So that's cool. So that there is my house. Next up, we're going to go to Lamim's house over here. This one he designed in the hill. I think it's pretty cool. So here's some bamboo, we put some string on it, he didn't want to go too tall. He was keeping a chest out here until yesterday when a creeper blew it up, and I had to move it all inside for him because it's my fault apparently. for leaving it. Either way, I put it in here. I figure that's a good spot for it. In his house, he keeps it a little bit darker. I told him he has to put enough torches, though, so enemies don't spawn. It's kind of my thing, is putting torches around. I used to carry, like, a stack of torches everywhere. So that's where he keeps his food. This is his enchanting room. And since he designed this with a purpose, you can make it center, which looks really nice. Centered. Around here, he's got a bunch of different stuff going on. Pretty cool just to have, you know, these things around. This here's what he did was cool. This is a furnace into another furnace. There's a blast furnace there, so all this stuff sort of goes together. Oh, he took out that piston. In here was his room, but is now his villager's room. This is the cleric, which actually used to live in the house that I have, but I don't want a cleric anymore. I wanted to get a librarian, instead I got a armorer. Great. Up here, or in here, is his armory. He's got a bunch of stuff. As you can see, all the potions. A bunch of bows he's got here. He used a lot of arrows in that fight, too, huh? Tools, axes, all that stuff. But the coolest thing he has is this. So this here changes. It's got a whole redstone thing underneath it, which changes all the armor sets. That's got nothing on it. I think that's chainmail for that. Diamond. And back to that. So it's really cool. All the different stuff that he has there for his armor set. That's really cool that he did that. So this here's a light. It's like a redstone thing, and when pressure plate goes on, it lights up the area a little bit more. Alright. I hate iron doors on buttons. I honestly hate them. Here's his dog, Hero. This is his like basement area. This is his room, actually. He used to have an ender chest here, but he brought it with him, and I don't know what happened to it. Or it got destroyed in the end. So here's just some of where his rare stuff is. This is so touch book. And does anything in this barrel? No, I don't want to sleep in this bed. Wait. He's also got his Russian flag banners down here as well. I would make Korean flag banners, but they don't look as nice on PlayStation. You can do really good ones on like PC, but there's more of a limit on layers you can do on this. So he's got a great view out of this room. You can really see how dank my house looks. And our big breach and part of our village. So up here is his enchanting area. Everything basically pops off up here. There's bottles. I don't know why I keep saying enchanting. It's bottles and stuff like that. But yeah, that's where he has... Oh, he does have one of the skeletons. Okay, we need 2 more of those, I believe. I like that he put it there, though. It looks cool. We'll spawn over there somewhere. And then, of course, you got his cauldrons here to keep all the water in. He's done a really good job with this area. I think it looks very, very nice. Alright. Can we go underneath here? Alright, so that's his house. And if you may think, oh, mine's got more detail outside, you gotta remember, he built 2 houses. I've been focused on one area the whole time. The house we're gonna go to in a minute is a village that used to be his house. So you have to think, he put a lot of effort into one house, and then moved. And I mean, the one he did, he put a lot of effort into the inside of it, like cutting it all out, making it look the way it does. So I think he did a good job, for sure. But now we head to the final portion. Oh, this is my sword. Can we talk about this for a second? Hello? What'd I get hit by? I don't know. I got hit by something. Either way, fire aspect, sharpness, looting, and unbreaking. This thing is dank. Aw, man. I missed that shot, but oh my god. That was lame. Well, there's another hole in the ground there now. This here used to have cows in it until our village got raided, because all these iron golems decided to go into here and chill. Because the iron golems never stay in the village, they said, yeah, yeet, and leave, and go over here. And we only spawned in 2. Can we just acknowledge that? We only spawned 2 iron golems. He gave me iron and I built 2 of them. Which, there's 1 here, 1 at my house. I leave 1 hole over here that got iron golem stuck in it. And there's another one, so there's 3 already. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 already. We got 10, so let's count these. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 18, counting behind this house. 19, 20. There's 20 iron golems. We built 2, the rest of them have spawned. I knew it was becoming a village when the cats spawned as well. So let's discuss this area. So this here's our village. This is what Lamine built initially as his house. There's been slight modifications by me to make it more villager friendly, including nowhere the villagers can hop over the top, including right there where it used to be open, and some other areas around here. Also, this fence was changed slightly from what he had built, as villagers can't hop over that. Same over here, we made it more villager friendly. And that meaning they can't leave. So, yeah. What I did is I put on a bunch of mushrooms recently when we got back from the mushroom biome. Felt it would look cool here. We also have a bell set up similar to my house. I asked him what he'd think about it, and he thought that was a good idea to do it that way. So, down under here is a tunnel, which we dug out, and it leads to the exit. So if you want to have another way in, that we can get in, but villagers cannot get out, that's the way to do it. So this here didn't used to be cut out like that either, but he did build this here. And he did a cool thing with a waterfall coming down the hill, but again, that would give the villagers a way out. So we had to kill some. This is a field. It was supposed to be nice. It went all the way up to here. The whole thing was crops, but, you know, the dudes dropping off of here and just making it a mess. And going down here and then jumping up. You know, they kind of ruined the whole field. But, either way, it used to be cool. Inside the place of the villagers. Oh, and of course, I do want to mention it stopped here initially. It's about as far as it went. Maybe out to here with the fence, I don't know. We extended it a couple days ago. As I'll explain in a minute. So the other side of here was Lamine's house. Now, he used to have nice pillars coming down, but I changed it to make it, again, a room for villagers to sleep in, which is in here. The issue that we were encountering was this whole room was full. Every single spot that you can basically fit a bed, here, here, over here, all over here was full of beds. And if you want to find a villager at night, it was kind of annoying, and to get in, it was super annoying, so we really wanted to take and make it more open, so there's less beds in here than there were before. Also, every bed got reset, so you know, some villagers might have moved or whatever. And here's a place for them all to take different jobs, which most of them have, some of them have not, but most have taken jobs. Oh, this is Lamine's cat who wanted to leave somehow. I don't know how I don't know why he didn't put it back in his house, but that's a cat. We have beds over here. This is also some of Lamine's stuff, which he never took out. It's kind of like obnoxious. But there's even a bed over here, and over in this corner, one corner, just getting so many villagers in here, which is, I was putting out more beds, they're having more baby, so, you know, we need to make more space. Need to make baby. Now, we expanded the house, or expanded the village. We each built one house. I built this one, he built that one. He wanted his to fit the theme. I didn't want to put that much work into building a house for villagers. So, we'll show mine first. Mine's purely just beds. They all sleep there. Now, the ladders, these beds are assigned, but the villagers never use them. The reason is villagers don't just intentionally climb ladders. They can, but it has to be something that they walk into it. And they'll climb it. But they're not just gonna say, oh, my bed's upstairs, and go up it. So, they can use it, they just don't. And these here are purely for beds, so we just packed them full. Not like the other house where we didn't want it to be as packed. This here is 100% packed with beds. Ones we took from other villages, and ones that I made. The orange ones I made, the blue and the red and white we took from other villages. So again, this is purely just for sleeping. Nothing really else in here. I do have a lectern just to hope to encourage more of them to become librarians. And we get enchanted books. Also, let me give them 2 entrances in, because lots of times at night, or when you ring the bell, the villagers all just dash to the door and make a big mess. Now, the issue with that is the villagers don't actually use the side door. Also, when our village was getting raided, he covered in the doors. So, our village, we did protect it. We don't have the Protector of the Village enchantment anymore, but yeah, or whatever it's called, the thing. By the way, villagers were very happy when we protected them. Most of them didn't die. But there has been a significant loss in them in the time we were gone, so we were thinking maybe there was another raid or something else happened. Because there was a good portion of villagers who were not here, including one of the original villagers. We had one original one. Because we brought 6 villagers to this village initially, and since then it's expanded to what it is now. I think the last original one is gone. Our last thing for our village is this, which we call the airlock. Basically, it works like you would have in space, if you want to get from outside to inside. Or what you might use in water, a lock that way to get in between 2 different places. Underwater, maybe. But we do the same idea here with iron doors. Of course, villagers cannot open iron doors because they can't press buttons. So we did is we sort of made this place. So Lemmy made an iron, or not iron, obsidian, so if a creeper tries to blow it up, near it, nothing will really damage this. So basically, you just go through it, wait for it to close, and then go through the other room. So that way, it makes it that villagers can't really escape. And nothing can really get in. So that if I open this door and a villager happens to be here, and they run in, we have a good chance we can get them back in the village. I initially went pressure plates, but I told them that didn't really work, because then it sort of defeats the purpose of having the door closed quickly. As much as I don't like iron doors with buttons, this here was one idea I did have with them. Now, of course, I've done all the lighting around here, and the other thing to note is all the sweet berries to really protect it from enemies if they get close. Now, it's nice, but the one thing with the wall that is bad is the raiders, when they come, stand here, and the iron golems really can't fight them. But for the most part, it's pretty good. When they had the big dude, the Ravager, I think is his name, he sort of got stuck here in the sweet berries, we could kill him pretty easy. So overall, protecting our village was quite good. And again, this whole area was full of cows over here until we let out the iron golems, which are now up to 20. In here is where Lemmy has placed some turtle eggs, which aren't hatching, because we both think they don't hatch on rocks. And this also we're keeping mushrooms and some nether wart. Again, this here used to be his house, so some of his stuff's still around. He calls this turtle code. Now to show you guys what this bridge does. The bridge, of course, is the way that we got the villagers here. I got a bunch of the bamboo, Lemmy got a bunch of the strings, and then he wanted to build this massive bridge, which went to about where the mushroom is, but again, we took out some of it because it wasn't really necessary. I should also state in the back of the house, it's just covered by sweet berries and nothing else. So, it is a way enemies can get in, but they have to get around the sweet berries first. So yeah, the thing went down to there and it went down as a ramp, but when we pushed the village back, we didn't need this anymore, so we decided to get rid of it, that part. But we still want to keep the bridge up, because it's pretty cool just to look at and be like, we did that whole thing. So, basically what this does, we'll follow the bridge all the way down to the end. And what this is going to take us to is the second village. In that village, we rounded up again 6 villagers that were willing to go in a minecart. And we brought them to our new village and had everything set up for them there. We destroyed all their beds in their village, they didn't have a place to sleep, so that way when they came to our village, they were quite accepting after a day or two of restlessness. I think we have 21 iron golems because he built one over here, but that doesn't really count. This isn't considered our village. Our village ends at the house. We checked that by the raid. So, we run across this big bridge, which is a lot of scaffolding here to build with. A lot. And a lot of supports. So all the way down here at this village, which I found, again, this is what I found by randomly exploring stuff, basically. That's how I found it. Now the thing about how we came with doing villagers, we were just sort of talking, and Liam's like, what if our house gets raided? And I'm like, I don't think it will unless we have villagers. And then we decided to bring villagers here. So this here was the village that we took them from. Of course, you see the tracks around, trying to get a couple of them. We need to have at least 2. I think we had to bring, it was 5 or 6, I don't really remember. I think it was 6 though. We really don't have a point to come here, so we never really do. This house somehow got burned down. So yeah, that is that. This village has nothing in it anymore. We've taken everything of importance out of it. Ooh, hello. We can take that though. So, again, we basically took everything out of this village and used a lot of it at their village. A lot of those beds, you see the white and the red beds. I came back here when we were expanding. I'm like, oh, these beds still are not despawned, so I'll take them. But again, we built this whole bridge. Or I should say Lamine built the whole bridge, and I helped to get the materials for it. I want to give him credit for building this bridge that he gets, but yeah, overall, this is really, it was fun to sort of do a whole thing to move villagers here. There's really no other option on PlayStation besides build a big bridge with minecarts, or build a track with minecarts. The bridge works easier because it's level instead of going over a bunch of terrain. We only have 1 hill on this whole pathway, and 3 total hills. The nice thing as well is that if there is a support that gets blown up, only part of it gets destroyed. We did consider taking it down at one point, but we've left it for aesthetics to sort of look kind of cool here in the middle of the village, or the middle of the map. So again, we're going to run back, and you can sort of see the village is pretty well lit to keep the enemies out of it. That's kind of my goal. I built the big wall with the lights on it. And then, of course, lit up the whole inside of it with the torches there. And then, we got torches a little bit further out to keep the enemies away. And again, this is sort of why Lamine has issues with the enemies more around his area. Because they don't just spawn here where it's a little bit darker, so there tends to be a little bit more enemies in this area. And then of course we get to my house where I keep the lights really bright as well. We got big torches, or the big lanterns actually, which keep the area even brighter. And overall, it's really, really cool. So yeah, so now I want to take you guys to a really cool place. I want to take you guys to where we have the end and all that stuff. So, I'm going to travel there. I'm going to have a cut in the video. And I'm going to travel there. And I'll catch up with you guys when I get there. Yeah, so, see you guys in a second. Alright guys, I've made it all the way here. As you guys see off in the distance, we have a mushroom biome. So we're going to take this boat, I want to see, is it easier to control the boat with this mode? Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so much easier to control the boat with third person than first. What the hell? Alright, so we head here to the mushroom biome, of course. Very, very exciting to arrive here after a long walk. Honestly, I'm sure it's like 5 minutes. I don't know. But here we go. I'm going to take my boat. And now, before I show you guys everything, I do want to make sure I don't sleep here. So that way I don't have to walk all the way back. So what I'm going to do is drop the important items that I want here, basically, in the ender chest. So that way I can die. Like I'll go jump in the water or something. And then I can go back to my house or I'll respawn and get it. So. Oh god, I'm checking my house. Not that we're going to use this stuff. This here is, of course, where we came to fight the Ender Dragon. We used our Eye of Ender over there, and it brought us to this island, which is very interesting. A super rare mushroom biome with what we needed in it. So we built a farm here. Things did get a little destroyed. Lemim had an army of dogs, which we're not really going to talk much about what happened with that, but he had an army of dogs, and yeah. So overall, in here is where we kept the sheep. We used to have 4. 2 purple, 2 orange. The purple one got killed or something. Here's our farm. Like I said, potatoes and wheat. Again, we need the same stuff. Potatoes for food, wheat for breeding sheep and cows and mushrooms. And here we have pumpkins because we're trying to have what do you call them, snowbobs, the snowmen, in there. We always call the iron golems and snowmen Bob, based on Overwatch. So, in here we have a bunch of stuff. This is where Lemim kept his items here. Then I kept mine in here. These are just random items that we have. We each have an ender chest. This here is a chest full of food. Here's where he kept items that he didn't care if anybody took. And this is where I kept items that I didn't care if anybody took. So, that's what we've done here. Now, we've done a purple and orange type theme. Initially, I brought some carpeting just a little bit and beds for both of us, but Lemim went ahead and put full carpeting in his. And I decided, you know what, I should do the same on my side, so we got full carpeting. You got a smoker here. Do we have any potatoes in it? We don't. I will get this coal back up now. Again, we're kind of like leaving this area. We beat Ender Dragon, so all we gotta do left is really take these mushrooms back to our base. Again, in here, bunch of mushrooms. We found 2 on the island and bred a bunch of them. Yeah, that's really what we have here. We have this outside because he didn't want to ruin the aesthetic inside, and I put this outside. I also brought a bunch of bamboo, or a little bit of bamboo if we ever needed it, but we never did. We really just brought the most amount of materials that we could possibly need here in our ender chest and in our inventory. I brought a bunch of wood to build this house with, and then from there, we got popping. I built a house and he went off and found turtles and whatever else he wanted. So we have a couple turtles in here, which is pretty cool. Pretty happy with that. Now, since I'm here, I'm going to just check if there's any wood chest. Wood? I'll take a little bit of wood. Dirt, sand, bone meal. Why not? Alright, so now I want to show you guys sort of where our end portal was. So right down here was our end portal. Now we didn't even have to go through a stronghold or anything. We were just right here. We found it really quick, really easy. For us to get over. Or it's better than having to throw ender pearls. We still have to go to the end city. That's the other thing I forgot to mention we haven't done yet. But I was just building a little bit of random stuff in here for the memes. He put this here, and he went up and took out most of those things. I took out like one over there, but he destroyed most of it. When it came to the Ender Dragon, we were both popping off against that dude, hitting him with some arrows, things like that. And it was really, really cool to finally beat the Ender Dragon in survival mode. I did it in creative mode for the memes just to see what it was like, but to do it in this mode was super, super awesome. So there's a bunch of our snow bobs around. They fight the Enderman, but overall, pretty cool. We still have to go, of course, into the end city. Oh shit, that brought me right back home. I could have just done that. Instead of dropping off all my inventory. What? Oh my god. I didn't realize I did that. That's so cool. Alright. Well, I can come in here and grab my stuff anyways. Such a long walk to just jump through the portal and come back. Either way, we made it back. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm so happy we won that though. Beating the Ender Dragon was so cool. So I'll put the boat and the map back. Now, before I set off, right in the portion where I'm like, alright, I'm gonna leave, and I stop talking, and of course ultimately cut the video, something happened outside the house. Now I mentioned that enemies occasionally come out of the gate, and well, that just happened. Creeper came in, blew up this entire hill. So I'm going to do a quick repair of that before we stop the video for today. I figured that could be kind of a fun way to end the video, fix up something that shouldn't have got messed up. But so I believe okay. So I need to go get a couple materials. I need some more dirt. We have enough fences, so we don't have to worry about that. Pull this along here. Did it used to be like that? I don't even know. I don't even care. It's cool. Oh, they destroyed my lantern. That's nice. I apologize for the loud truck in the background, because that happens sometimes. The cobblestone wall. I need a stone wall. Well, I got a bunch of stone walls in here too. I just gotta find them. So. That is that. I was gonna get a lantern and a gate, but see, this is why dirt gets used up so quickly around here. Dumb things like that happen. there goes some more. Luckily I have some more oak fences as well. I don't think I have any torches though, lanterns. So we can go in here though, and that's required by iron ingots, so that's what I thought. Place you in there. Put that down there. Alright, so that again is our place. A little bit of repair work to end the episode. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's very, very fun to build this whole map, and really cool to show this off to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one.